Time to get ready for the second race of the weekend in the F4 UAE Championship 2024 Round 2. Now, last week, it was all about Freddie Slater's consistency and speed. He, of course, leads the championship coming into Round 2, but to sustain that, he's going to have to continue to build on that revolution, that evolving battle in the title fight. And with this reverse grid race, it's a very key factor in scoring championship points, because as we've said many times before in Formula Regional and in F4, it's not necessarily about what you do when you win. It's about what you do when you score points in the top 5, how many points you can gather when you're off the podium. So all of the drivers in F4 UAE are obviously going to be looking for as many points as possible from the 3 races, and the reverse grid race is definitely a good opportunity for some of those drivers towards the midfield to pick up a point more or two, especially considering that the top 12 drivers are the ones that will be reversed.
Have been very excited about the challenges ahead. This is where they have been hoping their bread and butter can finally be sliced up and served on a hot plate to glory. There's nothing quite like racing under the floodlights at Marina. It has got dark very quickly here, as it tends to do at this time of the year, and all of our competitors are ready to saddle up and go for the battle. And who's on the reverse grid pole? I can hardly believe it myself. Keano Alazari, who literally went from a broken front wing in race 1 to the back of the field after a pit stop to charging his way through to what would eventually be P12. I spoke to him when he thought he'd finished P13, and you couldn't believe just how devastated he was. So close to getting that reverse grid pole, and he thought, well, we'll just have to go in and see what happens from 13th. At least I can make a few more places, he said. However, it turned out to be
much better than that. He ends up on the reverse grid pole after Deegan Fairclough was given a 10-second penalty for being given a essentially for being given a penalty for causing a collision out on the circuit. So could be very interesting to see how it all continues. Well, let's see how the battle is going to continue to progress, as we have Keano Alazari in pole position for this one. It'll be a very exciting challenge for everybody. And now we're going to get to see what will happen with a very tough battle behind, because he's going to have Dion Gauda alongside him on the front row of the grid. You have to say the Miami battles in karting have very much come back to the front of this F4 UAE grid, because I've got 6 drivers on my list in front of me, all of whom used to cut their teeth in the Miami karting route. You've got Keano Alazari, Dion Gauda, Keano Alazari, Zach Scular, Rafael Narak and Matteo Quintarelli, all of whom have had a sensational battle for all of the contenders out there. And they're going to be charging their way through and moving forward. The grid is being cleared, which is exciting news for us, because it means we're about to go into a whole world of sensationalism. Race 2, reverse grid, is always exciting. Pole position determined by the top 12 drivers. Finishing positions from race 1 reversed. All the other positions are where they ended up finishing in the previous race 1. So an excellent situation. We are going to have a terrific battle. Keano Alazari and Dion Gauda, front row of the grid. Keano Alazari and Zach Scular on the second row. Rafael Narak alongside Matteo Quintarelli. Then Gabriel Stilp alongside Dorian Bain, who has a good chance there from 8th on the starting grid. 9th for Rashid Al-Daheri, and then 10th place for Nikita Bedrin. 11th on the grid, Alex Powell, and 12th position is race 1 winner Freddie Slater. 13th place for Deegan Fairclough alongside the talented young rookie Max Popov, who's definitely made massive gains in the last week. Sebastian Murray doing a good job there in 15th to work his way forward. Kai Darianani charging forward to P16. Green light comes on, and we are under starters' orders. This will be a fabulous battle for the formation lap beginning, as everyone is now going to warm their tyres and brakes, hopefully to the optimum temperatures, and then we can focus on racing. Keano Alazari and Dion Gauda, Keano Alazari and Zach Scular, then it is Rafael Narak and Matteo Quintarelli, Gabriel Stilp and Dorian Bain, and then we have Rashid Al-Daheri and Nikita Bedrin. We also have Alex Powell and Freddie Slater, Deegan Fairclough and Max Popov, Sebastian Murray and Kai Darianani. Jack Beaton is alongside the Australian Kamal Murad. Aurelia Nobel's doing better this time in 19th on the grid from Peter Buzanelos. Then Carrie Schreiner working her way forward to 21st alongside Yavan David of Sri Lanka, although he now lives here in the United Arab Emirates. Then we have 23 on the grid, Alvisa Rodella and Riza Suraruthin. Then Everett Stack and Fu Yuhao. And then we have Maxi Restrepo, the Colombian, who charged his way through from the back of the grid, along with Chu Yan Bu. Nicolas Stati and Thiago Rodriguez, Lucas Amalisto and Gilles Caranta, one of the retirees from the previous race, as of course was Lucas Amalisto, along with Enzo Ye, Liu Kaixun and Tina Hausmann. So that's where they will start in position. It's going to be interesting to see how they all continue to fight on, and we're going to see in a really exciting situation for all of the contenders. I was actually in a very pleasant conversation in between races with Juan Pablo Montoya, who is here looking after Maxi Restrepo, who is one of his new drivers that he's picked up. He was telling me, you know, his rate of progression is amazing. He had only done 4 kart races last year when he made his switch to cars. So he only started racing in the beginning of the 2023 season. So the fact that he is here, mixing it in within a second of these competitors. He had come from being about 6 seconds off the pace in his couple of karting races that he did to within 0.4 of a second in the space of about 3 weeks, which is absolutely astonishing development. And it really shows you that these guys really do want it. You have to work hard if you want to be successful, but you can do the good work. And Juan Pablo was telling me, watching this boy's rate of progression is what's so exceptional. He may not be the fastest driver out there yet, but it's the rate of his development that is so impressive to watch. So we definitely need to keep an eye on the Colombian driver, Maxi Restrepo. By the time the season ends, he could well be knocking on the door of top 10s regularly. Speaking of regular top 10s, you're going to see quite a few more of those towards the sharp end. Keano Alazari and Zach Scular, the 2 drivers for the local home team, Yaz Heat Academy, who are based on this very race circuit. They find themselves in 3rd and 4th place. The other driver in Yaz Heat colours is the true Emirati of the field, Rashid Al-Daheri, lining up in 9th position on the grid for this one, narrowly missing out on a podium in race 1. Race 2, he's going to have to work very hard indeed to get there, but this is a bit of a strange grid because Kian Nakamura-Berta lining up 12th on the grid, finishing 12th place, managing to reverse grid pole, along with Keano Alazari, 2 drivers that should have been at the front of race 1, and now they get the opportunity to turn their fortunes around a little bit. Watch out for the Yazid driver with a pink nose. Zach Scular has been doing a terrific job. He lines up 4th on the grid for this one, considering this is car race number 5 for him. So it'll be really exciting to see how things continue. And Wojara on YouTube has been telling me that Restrepo's progression in Spanish F4 to here has been truly remarkable. It's not just about winning races. It is about how fast you develop as a racing driver. It is about your rate of progression. That is a massive thing in F4. You can't just come in and win every race. You have to work at your objectives. You have to develop. You have to get the talent. And it's always very rewarding and pleasing to see when a driver, it just clicks. It's like a light switch that goes on in a driver's head and they finally get it. And that's always really satisfying to observe. So the green flag goes to the back of the grid and we are getting ourselves ready then for the start of the 2nd race of the weekend under the floodlights. Let's race at Yas Marina. And there's no start at all for the race GP. That's gone terribly wrong for Gilles Caranta. He's, for Rafael Narak, sorry. Rafael Narak's not gone anywhere. So Rafael Narak from 5th on the grid does not move as everybody else works their way through to the first hairpin. And this is the first time many of these drivers will have raced any course. Some drivers running wide. And up and over, 1 or 2 drivers just bunny hopping over those curbs. Oh, and there's a front wing going missing. Somebody's had to skate to avoid it. But so someone's definitely got a broken front wing. But as the rest of the field swarm their way through on the opening lap, that is Rashid Al-Daheri going wheel to wheel with one of the Mumbai Falcons as they work their way forward. A good start, though, for Keano Alazari, who has been able to get into Mumbai Falcons as they work their way forward. A good start, though, for Keano Alazari, who has been able to get into 2nd position, chasing down Kian Nakamura-Berta. And the Mumbai Falcons were telling me that, Nakamura-Berta's run wide. Keano Alazari takes the lead here in the United Arab Emirates. This is a big moment for him. And so Keano Alazari has hit the front for the Yazid Racing Academy. Don't forget that in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix support races, he won both encounters here. So he knows how to get the job done on this circuit very well indeed. So here comes Keano Alazari in the lead with Kia Nakamura having made a rare mistake. Now he's got to try and defend from Dion Gowder and Zach Scular as they come down to the hairpin. Nakamura on the back foot. I was going to say that I can't remember my train of thought, but Keano Alazari is doing a fantastic job to lead here. This is such a big moment for him and the team. Oh, there's contact at the back. Gary Schreiner getting involved with one of the XL cars at the back end of the field, I'm afraid. So a couple of moments in the mix, but up the inside, oh, that's going to be Zach Scular making his bid to overtake Dion Gowder. Can he finish that off on the outside? Yes, he goes slow in, fast out, squeezes Gowder. Watch out for Deegan Fairclough. Fairclough's got a good opportunity here as Alazari leads the way. Nakamura second, and it's 3 wide for third. It's actually Gabriel Stelp who's trying to make the bid for third position, so Stelp is trying to come through, and that is retirements already for Rodriguez and Buzanelos. So that's 2 cars off, and they're on the middle of the racetrack, so surely that's going to be safety car. Yellow flags at turn 6, so that is obviously going to be the chicane at the end of the lap. So a very tall order is battling away. That's Rashid Al-Daheri, is it? No, that's Zach Scular trying to shake off Gabriel Stelp. So they still continue to duel away, but that is Zach Scular having worked his way through to third position. He's got past Stelp and Gowder. This is terrific work from Zach Scular, as problems there for one of the AGI cars. That's Jack Beaton. He's got a broken front wing. So Keano Alazari leads the way. Very impressive, though, is the car that's in third position, although he's just drifted wide. That is Zach Scular. Oh, and that's a very broken car. That's Enzo Ye. So Enzo Ye is out of the race there, and it looks as though he's coming to contact with the number 7, that is Deegan Fairclough. So Fairclough and Ye, it almost looks as if Ye has, well, I don't know whether he's done that in pit road, trying to come in to repair damage, or whether he's just had the accident at the final chicane, and then just limped back into the pits because he can. Gabriel Stelp! Oh my word, I used to call him the Gilles Villeneuve of karting, and he pulls off a move worthy of Dijon 1979. As late as you like on the brakes from Gabriel Stelp, he banzais on the inside of Zach Scular, and he gets it just before safety car is called. Wow, that is properly close timing from Gabriel Stelp, and now he finds himself in third position with Keano Alazari and Kia Nakamura to go up against. And that is why we're under safety car proceedings, because we've got 2 cars there that are in the middle of the racetrack. So everybody is going to skip the chicane. Our drivers have gone right down to almost stopped on the way into the chicane. But Keano Alazari leading the way here in front of Kia Nakamura, Gabriel Stelp, who is still pulling off those epic maneuvers he used to pull in karting. They would say to him, look, you may as well just do it your way. He tried to be a bit more smooth and then realized it's not really my style. I can't really do it like that. So I'm just going to do it my way. Well, both Thiago and Peter have managed to get out of the cars and run away. Unfortunately, you can see them there to the top of your picture, having got out of the cars. They're fine. The only problem is they're now abandoned cars in the middle of the racetrack. Now, this could be, I think, a 2-lap job to basically get us under starting procedures. Now, there's Deegan Fairclough getting back on the circuit, having had repairs to his car for damage, and he may as well do... Oh, and that's another car that's abandoned. That's the number 9. So that is Everett Stack, the American driver, has had his car abandoned just a little further on. So that's actually 3 cars involved in that one, and we know we've got a broken car in pit lane for Enzo Ye. So we've got 31 cars running. 3 of them out on the spot there and then, and the 4th one broken and in bits in the pit lane, having just managed to crawl back in, Enzo Ye. So let's take stock of the situation. Let's look at the starting positions for this restart. Keano Alazari is going to be leading the way here, and every time he's in the lead at a decent point in an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix circuit layout, he's pretty quick. He managed to convert his performances into 2 wins. Now look at that. That is a very loose front wing for Jack Beaton. If he's not careful, he'll get the meatball flag, or the technical flag, as it should actually be called. But anyway, Keano Alazari leading the way. Behind the safety car, Kia Nakamura in second place. We're going to see a replay. Now, this is of a front wing. That's Deegan Fairclough's front wing going AWOL, right in the path of oncoming traffic. That is a terrifying moment That was very scary indeed for all of the cars trying to come through. And we are very lucky that we didn't have a monumental shunt as a result of that. We had a little bit of a slow one coming into the final chicane, but everybody's okay, which is the good thing. So, Keano Alazari leading, Chiara Roberta in second place, Gabriel Stilpin third. I swear I'm going to get through this running order. Fourth place is Zach Scular, and doing a terrific job, considering this is only his fifth ever car race. Sixth place behind Dion Gauda, who is in P5, is Matteo Quintarelli, doing a brilliant job for the Santalog team. And Matteo Quintarelli is definitely one that you need to keep an eye on. He's got Podium written all over him in the 93. There he is for the Santalog team. He is the young Italian driver who lives out here in Dubai, Dubai, which is just down the road from here. I meant to say he lives in the United Arab Emirates, which is of course where we are, but we're in the city of Abu Dhabi. You knew what I meant. Seventh place, Rashid Al-Daheri, who does live just down the road from this circuit. Seventh position, the young Emirati. Eighth position for Freddie Slater, who has managed to make up 4 places from his grid position already. Ninth place for Alex Powell. 10th for Dorian Pain. And then in 11th position, Nikita Bedrin in front of Kai Darianani, who's already charged his way through to 12th for the Pinnacle team. 13th is Jack Beaton with that loose front wing. Then it is Kamal Murad, who's done a relatively good job there for the PHM AIX team, in front of his teammate Max Popov. 16th is Yavan David, the Sri Lankan, who now also lives out here in the United Arab Emirates, just down the road in Dubai. So it could be a very interesting situation. And Jack Beaton has been given the technical flag. I thought it was coming. So all cars have to follow the safety car. So they're going to go across the ribbon here. They're going to go across the runoff area. They're not going to follow the race circuit. So the safety car is basically going to guide them in the direction that they need to go. But because there is still debris down on the circuit, they have to basically go where the safety car tells them to. And they are doing exactly what they did before, which is go the long way round, essentially. So Peter Buzanelos' car has been airlifted to safety. And it looks as though it's not going to be too long before Tiago Rodriguez has the same thing. But there is a third car to move, obviously, and that is the car of Everett Stack. So behind Yavan David, you've got Sebastian Murray, the Scottish driver, who also lives out here in the United Arab Emirates, along with his young brother Max, who I believe is competing for the Dubai O-Plate karting title this weekend, just down the road. So both the Murray boys having a very exciting weekend of it. Then we have Alvis Rodella in front of Aurelia Nobels. Reza Sararuthin, the young man from Bournemouth for the high-tech team. Then Lucas Samalisto in front of Tina Hausman, who's made a lot of positions, actually. She's done a great job there to come up to 22nd from the back of the grid. Then it is Gilles Caranta, who got a little bit stymied in race 1, and the youngster who took the Rookie Cup win in our last reverse grid race a week ago, still trying to work his way forward. Then the Chinese driver Fuyu Hao, who is in 24th position in front of Carrie Schreiner. Then Rafael Narak, who I think was the driver who ended up stalling on the grid initially, but is doing his best to try and move further forward. Then it is Liu Kaixun. Chu Yan Pu has actually been into the pits and come out again. Maxi Restrepo and Nicolas Stati are still going, as too is Deegan Fairclough, who has dropped now to the tail of the field, having had some problems with his front wing coming off on the opening lap. The retirements, well, we've already got 4 of those. Enzo Ye, Peter Buzanelos, Everett Stack, and the Macau driver, Tiago Rodriguez. So definitely getting to be pretty tricky out there. But it is a really difficult situation for all of the contenders out there. Hello to all those of you who are watching via Motorsport TV, whether you're watching on Facebook or whether you're watching on YouTube. It's all pretty intense stuff. Under safety car period, we have gone. Jack Beaton has had to come into the pits to change his front wing because he received the black and orange flag for doing so. And Keano Alazari is hoping to take the restart in the lead. There is Jack Beaton, so they've obviously changed the front wing and got him out there again, the young Australian, who's in his 2nd season in the F4 UAE Championship. Did a great job last year, managed to bump into him in between races and have a nice quick chat with him. He is absolutely loving life here in the UAE, having come back for the 2nd year. Loves Abu Dhabi, loves the Marina circuit, also loves Dubai, which is obviously the circuit located in Motor City, about an hour and a half away from here. There's Tiago Rodriguez's car, having now been recovered, and hopefully Everett Stacks is going to be fairly quick to recover as well. But all 3 cars are off the road in the same position there. You can see the safety car with the lights still on. Oh no, safety car is in at the end of this lap. I do apologize. Safety car in at the end of this lap. So we will be racing this time. So for Keano Alazari, he now becomes the leading car in the pack once again, and it's up to him when we go racing. Got to time this restart well. Kian Nakamura-Berta is there in second position right behind. He won his first ever car race a week ago here on the Marina circuit. Watch for Gabriel Stilp. If anybody's going to charge through to make his position, he is going to be Gabriel Stilp in third place, so he's definitely one to watch for. Keano Alazari backing up the pack, backing up Kian Nakamura-Berta, waiting for his chance to go. Now he's going to throw the throttle, and this is where... No, he's not going to throw the throttle yet. Now he goes for it. So Keano Alazari trying to catch out Kian Nakamura-Berta to hold the lead in the first corner. Very good tactics, and off we go racing. It's green, and the top four have broken clear. So in fifth place, Dion Gouda has got problems now. Matteo Quintarelli and Rashid Al-Daheri are going to be all over him. They're going to go 3 wide. Rashid Al-Daheri's made a spectacular restart, and he's up to 5th position already. Terrific run from Rashid Al-Daheri. He goes from 7th to 5th on the restart. So watch out for the Emirati. He's going to be charging after the top 4. Excellent work from Al-Daheri as Dorian Pain has had a problem and runs wide. So too does Matteo Quintarelli. I wouldn't be surprised if the two of them have come together as Quintarelli is tumbling down the lap chart. Oh, that is disastrous for Quintarelli. He was doing such a good job, and now drivers are tiptoeing their way over curbs, trying to stay out of trouble. But Keano Alazari has had the perfect restart. He absolutely nails it. And Kian Nakamura-Berta is going to have a tough job just keeping up with him at this rate. Zach Scular drifts out wide behind Gabriel Stilp. That's going to give Rashid Al-Daheri with the red nose. Oh, and off comes Dorian Pain's front wing. Very disappointing indeed for the Prema driver. I've been tipping her for a podium finish all weekend based on her pace, and I'm afraid it's not going to come in race number 2. As Dorian Pain loses... Oh, and not the only one to lose the front wing. One of the Race GP cars, I think, has lost the front wing. One of the Santalox having to take avoiding action as Dorian Pain is just trying to get her way back to the pits without too much damage, as Yvan David is going to get through round one side, and on the other side, that is the overtaking move from Reza Suaruthin. Suaruthin's now making a good bid as they go wheel to wheel. Suaruthin and David. David can't quite get across and so has to fall in behind Reza Suaruthin. So Suaruthin, David, and watch out for Sebastian Murray behind them as well as they go underneath the bridge. And we're going to see a big dive as well as Kai Darianani tries to shake off Kamal Murad. Murad's going to go long, but he's also going to lock up. Well held by Darianani as Yvan David is going to take on both the high-techs, and Yvan David of Sri Lanka comes out ahead of the high-tech twins. Excellent work from the Sri Lankan. Now, watch out for Rashid Al-Daheri. Here he comes, making the bid on Zach Scular. The Emirati trying to go round the outside of the Dubai-based Brit. Can he do it? The two Yazid cars going side by side. Rashid Al-Daheri's got the bravery, and he holds it round the far side. Amazing from Rashid Al-Daheri. So many times we've seen drivers try that trick around the outside and it hasn't worked. Rashid Al-Daheri's got the gusto to make it happen. Beautiful stuff. So Al-Daheri up to 4th, and up to 5th place now comes Freddie Slater. Up to 6th comes Alex Powell as Zach Scular is desperately trying not to let the floodgates open. Nikita Bedrin is next in line. Zach Scular still under big pressure, but still handling himself very well considering. This is only his 5th car race of any kind, don't forget. But Rashid Al-Daheri's now got Gabriel Stilp in his sights as they battle for the top 3. It's Alazari versus Nakamura-Berta, and they actually came together in race 1, don't forget, as into the pits comes one of the... that was one of the Race GP cars. I think Lucas Samalisto, as into the pits now, has come Aurelia Nobels of the Santaloc team, and they've told her to switch the engine off. Very sad indeed, as Aurelia Nobles has been doing such a great run. Dion Gouda's come into the pits now as well, I noticed, which is a shame, from what was the front row of the starting grid, of course. But Dion Gouda has now come into pit road. He was not feeling very well all weekend. I wonder if it's damage or whether he's just not able to keep it up together. And look at the high-tech twins, still battling away as Carrie Schreiner now goes wheel to wheel with teammate Jack Beaton. Schreiner runs wide and tries to get back on just in behind Beaton, manages to do so. So still some tough battles coming in here. Two high-techs dueling away with Jules Caranta. This is going to get tasty as Reza Suaruthin dives in on the inside of his teammate Sebastian Murray. Murray's got the inside for the next apex. Watch out from behind you, boys, because here comes Jules Caranta. Caranta's got a great run. They're trying to keep up with Yvan David, but look at Caranta in the Race GP car to the left of your screen. He's got a great run on Suaruthin, but he might be able to side draft him and then make a bid on Sebastian Murray. Suaruthin squeezes. Caranta can hold this round the far side. There is grip, and Caranta's got him. Magic move from Jules Caranta. You can make the move around the outside. You need confidence and you need determination. You also need a tiny bit of luck, but Gilles Caranta has made that stick. Excellent racing so far in F4 UAE. You just need a little bit of talent. You just need a little bit of superstardom. And these guys really can have a sensational race battle. So, Keano Alazari still leading the way from Kian Nakamura-Berta in second, then Stilp, Aldaheri, Slater, Powell, Skoular, Bedrin, Dadianani, and Kamal Murad. Top 10 score points. We've done the reverse grid bit, so now it is just a total and utter thrash to try and get to the finish line with as many points as possible, and Alazari is quick. The problem is here, you've got a very long toe down that back straight, and that's what Kian Nakamura-Berta is hoping to capitalise on. But the two leaders had a bit of a tangle in race one, rather sadly. They ended up having to come into the pits, and then both of them had to charge their way through. Alazari managing to come home in what would be 10th position, Kian Nakamura-Berta 12th. So now they get to battle with each other, but Keano Alazari has decided he's not going to hesitate. He's going to come straight out of the blocks, and boom, the boy from Dubai has absolutely struck gold at the moment. Zach Skoular still trying to fend off from Nikita Bedrin. Bedrin with a late lunge. Is he going to commit? Skoular's going to wobble, and that's enough. But Bedrin is going to have a very compromised exit here. Skoular's decided to turn this into a slow in, fast out in order to try and get back underneath him. This might not be done yet for Skoular, as Stilp has got big pressure. Here comes Slater and Rashid Aldaheri. Aldaheri's going to go for broke on the far side, and he knows he can pull this move off. He's already done it once. Lockups from Stilp, but Slater's got a gap on the inside as well. Here comes Freddie Slater. Aldaheri is not going to let that gap get away from him. So now he'll attack Gabriel Stilp once again. Stilp in third, Aldaheri in fourth, and Freddie Slater in fifth place. These three could give us an absolute battle royale, and Nakamura-Berta still trying to keep up with Keano Alazari. Alex Powell there in sixth, and Bedrin has got through on Zach Skoular and sustained it. So seventh position remains his. He did him in the chicane. I thought Skoular might have got an opportunity to get back through on the inside line, but Bedrin not letting him have it. Ninth place is currently Darianani in front of Kamal Murad. So points coming for Pinnacle, and they are the only team so far in the championship that have yet to score. So Darianani is going to sort that statistic out. Meanwhile, we've got Alvis Rodella battling away with Max Popov. And Yvan David is trying to close up on both of them. And these guys are just outside the points, don't forget. Rodella in 11th, Popov in 12th, and David in 13th. So still some good battles coming through. Never say never. Never give up. You've still got 9 minutes and 15 seconds left, plus the additional lap. A lot can change in F4 UAE, and it usually does. Race 2 a week ago was one of the best I've seen in F4 for a long time. So it looks to me as though Rashid Aldaheri's got Gabriel Stilp on the run again down the back straight, and Gabriel Stilp is defending valiantly. Freddie Slater can just be cautious here. Gabriel Stilp is forcing Rashid Aldaheri to the far side. Aldaheri going for broke, trying not to lock up the tyres. Stilp has. Aldaheri can continue the move. He backs out of it. He knows that Stilp's going to chop across, and Slater does the business. Freddie Slater comes through into fourth position, takes full advantage, and now a bit of fourth place. Alex Powell could have the run here on Rashid Aldaheri as well. So can Slater do what Aldaheri couldn't? Can he intimidate Stilp into a mistake? I can promise you this, Gabriel Stilp is no easy driver to overtake. He is one of the toughest men in a battle you'll ever go wheel to wheel with. In karting, he was known as the Gilles Villeneuve of karting. He was so relentless in his overtakes, so relentless in his defense. This guy will quite happily bang wheels with another driver if it means he can keep the position. He'll give you as little room as physically possible. And Freddie Slater is no stupid cow. He knows that one. He knows exactly how to make that work. In through the final turn of the Grand Prix layout. On the moment he comes. Freddie Slater hunting down the move from Gabriel Stilp. Stilp looks in his mirrors. You don't want to spend too long doing that either. That's an invitation. Can the movement come? Up the hill. Dropping down the run again. And out to the hairpin. Stilp just keeps a watching brief in his mirrors. He knows that Slater's going to be quick. Slater's going to try every trick in the book. And Slater keeping Gabriel Stilp second guessing here. Wants to get the opportunity down the straight. Here he goes. Stilp is defending. Virtually flirting with the white line on the far side of the back straight as they come under the bridge. Slater's already got the toe. He's going to be one wheel in front by the time they get to the braking zone. Slater will have this. Stilp is going to try and keep him on it. Slater pulls right across on Gabriel Stilp. He does not want him to have the chance of coming back, and that's going to back Stilp into the path of Alderheri and Powell if he's not careful. But here comes the move. Once again, Stilp is going to be in the draft of Freddie Slater. So Stilp will try again. Gabriel Stilp, Mr. Determination, making his bid on Freddie Slater. Here he comes on the far side. Tries again. Slater tries to hold the middle of the road. Is there enough of a gap for Alderheri to have a sniff of Gabriel Stilp's rear wing? Just about, but he can't make a move out of it. Still they rumble on. Down to the W Hotel. Into the right. Watching brief moment now for Gabriel Stilp. Just needs to be patient as Keano Alazari still hunts down Alazari. Here comes Stilp again. Freddie Slater and Gabriel Stilp have won plenty of titles for Great Britain over the years. Freddie Slater, world and European karting champion in junior and gearbox, as well as almost winning back-to-back world titles, of course. Gabriel Stilp won the Miami World Finals 2 years running at Adria in Italy, and then again at Le Mans in France. So these guys have been so strong in their karting days. And there's damage there to the front of the number 20. That is Tina Hausmann's car. She's got damage to the front wing. It looks as though she's carrying debris from another car. So it looks as though the car has essentially picked up something. I think that's an end plate from somebody else's car, and she's motoring around with it. Meanwhile, behind her, that is the move coming in from Santalok star Maxi Restrepo. The Colombian gets the bid there on Liu Kaixun. And there's another bit of damage there. Look, you can see someone else's end plate is still there to the outside of turn 2. So the marshals are going to be on overdrive at the end of this one to clean it all up. Now, interestingly, there is a safety car infringement from Yvan David, I'm told, as here comes Gabriel Stilp trying to fend off from Rashid Alderheri. Alderheri's got Stilp's back against the ropes as they come off the chicane. Surely Alderheri's going to have a run on Stilp. So through in third comes Slater. Who's next in line? It's Alderheri! And Powell is through as well. And now Stilp is trying to squeeze Bedrin. No, you don't. Nikita Bedrin's got a beautiful toe off the corner, and so he gets through into P6. So Slater through in third. Alderheri, Powell, and Bedrin all managed to get the run on Gabriel Stilp. Wow, great racing in F4 UAE. They push as hard as they can. Right, there's yellow flags at turn 1, which is the Grand Prix turn 1. I think it's for that debris. I think they were just trying to clear it. A marshal went out onto the road, I'm sure, and collected the debris. So they just had to put a yellow flag out very temporarily for that one. So, some great performances. And an excellent competition so far from all of these drivers out there. They're still putting in a good run. Alazari still hoping to take the victory for the United Arab Emirates. Of course, he actually has a German license, but he runs with the UAE flag because he lives here in Dubai on the Palm Jumeirah. Keano Alazari in second place, though, 0.6 of a second back from him. Freddie Slater, 4 seconds back. That's how much time they've wasted having this battle for third. And Rashid Alderheri now up into 4th position in front of Alex Powell from Miami in Florida. And then Gabriel Stilp, who has just lost out, actually, to Nikita Bedrin. So the timing screen will update. Zach Scolari is 8th, Darianani is 9th, hoping to give Pinnacle their first points of the season. And Kamal Murad in P10. And I should give a shout out to Guy Darianani because that is monstrous racecraft from the young Indian. He's made massive progress. Side by side, here comes Nikita Bedrin to get the move on Alex Powell. And that looked pretty perfect as far as he's concerned. It was like taking candy from a baby, really. So Nikita Bedrin able to get himself up there into 5th position past Alex Powell. But there's still more great battles to come from the young man from Miami. Still finding his feet, of course, in F4. Hasn't done as many races as a lot of the drivers behind him. So he's doing a great job to be there in the top 6. Gabriel Stilp is right there in the mix as well. There's the man in 3rd position, Freddie Slater, just going through the shot. Don't forget, Freddie Slater made his debut in F4 racing in the UK at Donington Park last August. So he hasn't even been racing these cars for 6 months yet. And he's right up there at the sharp end of the field. Now, that was Slater in front of Aldaheri and Bedrin, who's now in P5, trying to close up on the Emirati. And this is that midfield battle, still going strong. Interestingly, I don't think Tina Hausmann has been ordered. Oh no, now she has. She has been ordered to come into the pits, unfortunately. So she's just lost ground to one of the AGI cars. Now that is going to be so devastating for Tina Hausmann, because she's actually having a fairly cracking race. She's just lost the place to Nicola Starty, the Australian, and now is under threat from Carrie Schreiner. But now she's got to come into the pits to get that bit of debris off her wing. That's the really irritating thing about this, is up the inside comes Thiago Rodriguez. No, sorry, it's not Thiago Rodriguez, it's his teammate, Liu Kai-shun, who gets the move on Maxi Restrepo. This is so frustrating, though, for Tina Hausmann, because it's not her car that's damaged, it's somebody else's debris that's caught on the front wing, but she's still got to come in to get it removed, because it could cause a real problem for somebody else out there in the field. So that is pretty heartbreaking for Tina Hausmann. Her car hasn't got a problem. It's the thing that's sticking off the car that is causing the issue. So here comes Carrie Schreiner, hoping for a move on Tina Hausmann, gets very close behind. So we've got two drivers who are going to be racing in F1 Academy later this year. Tina Hausmann in Aston Martin colours, and Carrie Schreiner, who will be in Sauber colours. Here comes the bid from Deegan Fairclough. Dives in on Gilles Caranta. Sorry, that's Raphael Narak. They've got very similar helmet designs, Narak and Caranta, from a distance. So Fairclough gets the move. There's the technical flag. That will go the way of Tina Hausmann. So disappointing. Kamal Murad has come into the pits. So Kamal Murad has sacrificed the final point. That's now going the way of Alves Rodella, but these guys are trying to get there. So Narak is having another go at Deegan Fairclough. Fairclough holds the position. It's quite important now that these last couple of seconds going into the penultimate lap and then into the final lap are done properly, because Kamal Murad has come into the pits. So that is pretty devastating for the Australian, who was in position to get 10th place. That now means Alves Rodella is in P10 in front of Max Popov. Then Reza Sivaruthin in the high-tech going for his best result of the season in 12th, ahead of Gilles Caranta, Sebastian Murray, then Deegan Fairclough ahead of Rafael Narak, Beaton and Ivan David. So we just have 27 drivers, I think it is, left in this race. 28 actually now, although if Kamal Murad is a retirement, yeah, that will still be 28 runners of the 35 that started, because we've lost Thiago Rodriguez, Peter Buzanelos, Everett Stack, Enzo Ye, Dion Gauda, Aurelien Nobels, and now Kamal Murad, who has parked it in the pits as well, I think. So the leader is about to go into the final lap on this particular occasion. There is Keano Alazari, still holding station in front of Kia Nakamura Berta. And this is very much back to the form that we saw from Keano Alazari in the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix weekend, where he triumphed in both of the F4 trophy races. A big catalyst to his confidence, and it has absolutely kick-started his season. He got 2 pole positions last time out in round 1. He managed to score big points, but was not able to convert them into victories. 2 second places. He has been patient, but he has also been aggressive in stance. He has been dictatorial in racecraft. Keano Alazari came into this one, and they jokingly said when I asked him about it, what's your strategy? He said, go in, turn 1, see if you can get the lead. Why not? And he has absolutely taken the stranglehold of this race. He's had pressure. He's not had it all his own way by any means. Kia Nakamura Berta has definitely hunted him down. And Freddie Slater is trying to get that gap down. In fact, he has done so. The leaders have been on a 156.5, 156.9. Freddie Slater's doing a 156.2. So if you'd have given him a little bit more time, he might have gone for the victory himself, as Nakamura Berta goes very wide into what is the final corner of the Formula 1 circuit, manages to catch it, but Keano Alazari can't start this party fast enough. They're going to come through in fascinating fashion. The boy who lives on the Palm Jumeirah, about an hour and 20 minutes away from the circuit here. He is a fabulous young lad. A very hard-working young driver, spends all of his spare time basically on his simulator. And I tell you what, this boy is really starting to give the United Arab Emirates a little bit of hope. They have German and Lebanese heritage. His father, Karim, was the former president of Porsche in the UAE and a very talented sports car racer in his own right. But this is different. This is going to mean so much more. Keano Alazari's 2024 title attack is really going to take weight now as he comes up to the chicane for the last time. He's had a lot of pressure in this race, a lot of opportunities to let it slip. But did he buckle? Buckle he did not. Out of the final turn comes the Yazid driver. Keano Alazari wins in Yas Marina. A brilliant race battle. Finally it's here. Finally the win he's been working for all winter. Keano Alazari victorious at Yas Marina. And the way his speed has been building, that could be the first of many. What a sensational drive from the Yazid Race Academy star, ahead of Kian Nakamura-Berta and Freddie Slater. With all the column inches that have been written about the boys in the F1 academies, Keano Alazari shows the world what he can do. I am ready to win. I am ready to be a serious contender in motorsport. There is Rashid Al Daheri, the true Emirati in the field. 4th position, more valuable points for him. But there is the man who has taken the victory, and he is savouring this cool-down lap. It'll be the longest lap he'll ever do in Yas Marina. But boy, will it be satisfactory. So there is the man who finished in 4th place. You're going to need to look further back for the winner. Excellent work from the drivers in the top 5. All of them gave good battles out there on the course. But we really need to pick up Keano Alazari, the man who's taken the victory in this race, to see him celebrate in truly fantastic style. Excellent work from the drivers in this race. The 2nd and 3rd place men, as well as the 4th place man, are making their way back in fairly rapid fashion. I think they're quite ready to get a nice early night, ready for tomorrow when they get to have another night race. But look in the background, and we should see the yellow-nosed Yazid car. There it is, Keano Alazari just drinking in the moment. There he is, an epic winner, an epic performer. And what a terrific race win this is for him. He will enjoy this so much tonight. When they drive home to Dubai, they will not be able to stop smiling. This is not just for Keano. This is for Father Kareem, for his brother Adam, who is racing in karting this weekend. This is a big moment in the Alazari household. They will have such a wonderful time of it. Mum and Dad will be absolutely thrilled tonight. They will not be able to stop the party. It'll just keep on going. And they'll wake up tomorrow morning, and all of this hard work, all of this effort, all of this difficulty, logistical challenges, finding the money, finding the right team to build around them, all of it will be worth it. Keano Alazari wins in front of Kian Nakamura-Berta and Freddie Slater. Rashid Al Daheri ahead of Nikita Bedrin and Alex Powell. Gabriel Stilp, Zach Scular, Kai Darianani, who punched the air as he came across the line. Pinnacle's first points of the year. Alvis Rodella in P10. Then Max Popov, Riza Sivaruthin, Gilles Caranta, Sebastian Murray and Deegan Fairclough, who all gave us terrific racecraft. Rafael Narak ahead of Jack Beaton and Yvan David. Then Fuyu Hao, Nicholas Starty in P20, ever improving. Carrie Schreiner in 21st across the line ahead of Maxi Restrepo. And then Liu Kaishun ahead of Dorian Bain, who is very unlucky with her broken front wing. Matteo Quintarelli dropping to the back with damage. So too did Lucas Samalisto and Tina Hausmann. But retirements came from Chuyan Pu on the very last lap. Kamal Murad, Aurelien Nobels, Dion Gauda, Enzo Ye, Peter Buzanelos, Everett Stack, and Thiago Rodriguez. A race of true attrition. But it's a victorious race for Keano Alazari. Let's look back at how he did it. majestic fashion. That is such an important race victory as far as Keano Alazari is concerned. He can be so happy with the way this has gone. But as far as the title fight is concerned, it's very important to remember that Freddie Slater has worked his way forward from what was 12th on the grid to finish in P3. So as far as the title fight is concerned, he is now definitely pulling clear in the battles. And certainly tonight, Keano Alazari will be smiling very wide for his victory, but nobody's going to be happier, really, than Freddie Slater, who knows perfectly well that this is very much a championship lead that is building and building and building. And it's just going to get better from here. The podium ceremony demonstrating and showcasing these fabulous competitors. They have been so strong here at Yas Marina, and the racing, every time, it just seems to get better and better, which is wonderful. A wonderful tribute to be able to pull to these young ladies and gentlemen. So provisionally, Freddie Slater is going to be on 92 points compared to Keano Alazari on 62. That's 30 points after 5 races that Slater has. That's more than a victory. He couldn't really have handled this any better. And what did I say at the start of the program? It's not about what you do when you win. It's about what you do when you don't. Winning these championships are about consistency, about being in the right places at the right times. And as long as you bank in as many points as possible, you build a lead that is very difficult for drivers to overhaul. Last year, it was a fight right down to the wire between James Wharton and Duke Tarpanen, and they ended up clashing with each other in the final race of the year. Freddie Slater is trying to make sure that that's not even possible. 30 points clear of Keano Alazari, 34 clear of Nikita Bedrin, 35 clear now of Kian Nakamura Berta. Rashid Al-Daheri is provisionally 5th in the standings on 49. Powell on 39. Deegan Fairclough on 36. Dorian Bain still doing well on 22. And Matteo Quintarelli on 20. So many exciting races to come and so many terrific duels that the competitors can be very happy about here at Yas Marina. We are going to have a quick look at the podium ceremony shortly. But what an excitable podium this is going to be. I think Kian Nakamura Berta will be relieved that there was a second place in this weekend after what happened in race 1. But he'll still be a bit disappointed that he couldn't beat Keano Alazari to the punch. But as far as the race battles are concerned, we end up with a very nice situation. We had 3 different race winners last time out. Freddie Slater, Kian Nakamura Berta and Nikita Bedrin. Freddie Slater may have won race 1, but race 2 means we now have our 4th different winner from the first 5 races of the season. And a fabulous comment that has been made on YouTube to ram home the point about Freddie Slater's performances so far this year. In 2024, in F4 UAE, Freddie Slater has not finished lower than P4. And that's in the first 5 races of the year. That is quite an extraordinary statistic. So Freddie Slater 3rd, Kian Nakamura Berta in 2nd place. And Keano Alazari, the party begins here as he runs to the podium in fine style. And it will be a fabulous opportunity for him as he continues his wonderful performances here. And it is Davide Decobi, the general manager at Top Speed, that will present the trophies, of course, to our drivers. And they're just going to keep getting better and better from here. We have got so much to look forward to in F4 UAE 2024. We've only had 5 races. We've still got 10 to go. And now we've had 4 different race winners. It's just going to keep being a sensational battle as everybody enjoys themselves on the podium in fine style. But we are going to have so much more excitement to talk about now. The title battle really is electric. It's about catch Freddie Slater if you can for the rest of this season. As far as he's concerned, the battles are just going to get better and better from here on in. F4 UAE has gone lit. We now have 4 different winners from the season, and it will be a battle royale. Join us tomorrow for the 3rd and final race of the weekend in F4 UAE. We have still got a 2nd race to come in Formula Regional up next.